We have entered the era of the Donroe doctrine. You probably remember hearing about the Monroe doctrine in grade school, but President Trump is now referring to the Donroe doctrine. What is that? Well, the State Department tweeted, "This is our hemisphere," and White House advisor Stephen Miller told me that this is the U.S. exerting its superpower dominance over the hemisphere.
The United States is using its military to secure our interests unapologetically in our hemisphere. We're a superpower, and under President Trump, we are going to conduct ourselves as a superpower.
That includes apparently the U.S. taking Greenland if it wants, which Stephen Miller says Trump wants. You might remember the Monroe Doctrine dates back to 1823 when President James Monroe asserted that, quote, "The American continents are henceforth not to be considered as subjects for colonization by any European powers," unquote, meaning any new effort by European powers to exert influence or control in this hemisphere would be seen by the United States as a security threat. Now, the U.S. didn't have much of a navy back then, so it wasn't really taken particularly seriously until the 20th century when the Monroe Doctrine was invoked by Presidents Teddy Roosevelt and John F. Kennedy and Ronald Reagan and now, of course, Donald Trump. Now, the Donroe Doctrine does seem to be a bit more offensive and less defensive than the way it was asserted by President James Monroe, saying that the U.S. can and will do whatever it wants to do in Venezuela or, as President Trump has said, Mexico, or possibly Colombia, or possibly Cuba, or possibly Greenland. We should also note that in the White House's national security strategy from November, the White House asserted a Trump corollary to the Monroe Doctrine, which also asserted goals beyond just this hemisphere, including expanding to the Indo-Pacific when it comes to navigation and supply chains, including preventing any adversaries from dominating in the Middle East, and ensuring U.S. technology leadership in AI and biotech and quantum computing throughout the world. So more to come, presumably, beyond our hemisphere.